Good morning everyone, Crypto Lemon speaking. Today is Thursday, November 5th, 2 days after almost 2 days actually, after the US 2020 presidential election, and we have a lot of news to cover in the crypto world. So first we'll do as usual, state of the market kind of overview. We're gonna then talk about FTX prediction markets that have actually brought in a lot of crypto and non-crypto users. And then we're gonna talk about ETH 2.0 that has done a lot of work actually, and even if we're focused on the election, it's really something we have to keep track of. And finally, we're gonna talk about nearly $1 billion in Bitcoin from the Silk Road era that have been moved recently. So let's get to it. So first, state of the market, the total crypto market cap is at $417 billion. It's up almost 5% over the past 24 hours. We have Bitcoin that have been going again north of 14K and is strongly sitting at 14.4K. Then you have Ethereum that had a good run even north of $400 for much of last night, but has been going down a bit over the past hours. And for the rest of the cryptocurrencies, they've been moving up, but a bit less than the two big boys. So concerning the market, like I was saying, we went north, we went down, we went back up. What happened is that it seems that 14K became some kind of support now, which is really good. And let's remember that Bitcoin is up 90% versus S&P 500 since January 2020. This is crazy performance. We often forget it, but we up on 113% year to date. And what's more important, it's this graph that we talk a lot about. It's a dollar currency index. It shows the strength of the dollar against a basket of other currencies and other stuff. It's been moving up with the elections and stabilizing for the past 3 to 4 months. And a lot of economists and analysts accept this to keep going down. We'll talk about it. It's linked to elections. What we thought is Bitcoin will benefit no matter who wins. If it's Trump, it means more uncertainties in the world with more, let's say, non-predictable event, which makes owning a safe haven asset quite useful. So Bitcoin will have benefited with this narrative. If it was Biden that and a blue wave all over the US, we would have even more spending deficits and let's say money creation, money printing frenzy, and so this will have of course benefit Bitcoins, as it will have followed the narrative that Bitcoin cannot be printed in excess of 21 million, whereas USD just keeps devaluating. So this is important. And we have also Ethereum gas up, so the level of total gas used has been quite stable over the past months, even if DeFi craze went down a bit. But when we look at the fees, they just plummeted, completely plummeted, and this is great. It feels great to make transaction of sub $2 on the Ethereum network, and it also means that people are less crazy to do the transaction right now, and that they are willing to wait for gas prices to go down. So overall, a good thing. And this brings us to the FTX's prediction market. So I had a lot of non-crypto friends actually betting on the FTX platform, which is kind of a good way to bring people in. They were financial literate people, I would say, mostly working in banks or investment. So they were not like normies, but this is quite important. So they're also going over the fact that the website 538, really well known for predictions, has been under fire by a lot of users and crypto fans for messing up a bit this election. I would just like to remind everyone that they use polls. So if the raw data they use for the probabilistic model is wrong, garbage in, garbage out. It means it's not their fault if the raw data they're using, polls that were supposed to be better, as they were supposed to take into account some errors they made in 2016. If the polls are wrong, they cannot do much about it. So that's something I wanted to say. And we have 3 big markets actually for betting. So we have FTX, which is like a trading platform with a lot of volume, 8.6. Then we have Catnip, which is really easy, looks like an Uniswap. You just swap DAI for yes or no answer on if Trump is gonna win. And this is built through Augur and has also really high volumes. It was around 10 million a few days ago, and then a few hours ago. And then we have Polymarket. So the odds and the betting process has been going all over the place. Before the election, Biden had a probability, according to crypto prediction markets, of 60 to 65% of winning the election. And during the election, after we had results, really fast results from Florida, and that was going to Trump, and that most of the in-person voting were Republican or oriented in many states, that toss-up states such as Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, or Georgia. Actually, Trump supporters and Biden supporters did a 360, as the probability for Trump at that point, after he won Florida, probability for Trump to win the election went up to 70 to 75%, and Biden down to 20 to 30%. So this was quite of a really roller coaster. But now they're opening all the ballots sent before the election. I will not go into details over the controversies, but it seems at the moment Biden is back to a probability of winning of 87%, and Trump is at 12%. Before the election, this website showed 90 to 10. So this is very interesting, and we'll see what happens. But overall, it looks like it will not be a blue wave, meaning we might have Biden as president, and the Senate being maybe controlled by Republicans or close to be controlled by Republicans, which means that I think it's probably the worst outcome for the crypto world, as we will have, let's say, stability. So do we need safe haven asset as Bitcoin? But at the same time, we won't have the fiscal deficit and that was expected if Biden controlled everything, like Senate, House, and the presidency. If Republicans control the Senate, they will not agree with spending money and keeping this money printing, let's say, mood. So we'll see, but overall, it doesn't really matter for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be there. Bitcoin will win the heart of many Americans, and people worldwide. It's already winning everywhere. So a big thing was $5 million was already stacked in the deposit contract for Ethereum 2.0. So they released it yesterday. It was big news that kind of went under the radar with the election. So $5 million is not bad. But let's remember that they need, for the Beacon Chain mainnet to go live, 530k almost Ethereum, and more than 16,000 validators. So we're still really far away from this, but this is a good step. And people are arguing, so you have the diehard Ethereum lovers that say that 22%, because this is the first annual yield that you get as a validator, it's between 20-22%, and then go down from there, is not enough compared to a lot of DeFi projects out there that offer more yield. And what they're saying is that maybe a lot of people will not want to lock their Ethereum for a long time, actually. A long time, it could be up to 2 years in this contract, if they can get a yield higher and better liquidity elsewhere. So let's see what happens there. And news also that went under the radar is that did not almost make Bitcoin tank, was the fact that nearly $1 billion in Bitcoin just moved from a Silk Road wallet. Didn't move since 2015. It doesn't seem it's owner that is in jail that has been moving it, but probably maybe a seller or all-time seller or somebody that has the keys. But this is quite interesting. It means these bitcoins are not lost. There could be there are 440,000 bitcoins left in Silk Road's related wallets in, let's say, the nature, but we don't know who owns it. We don't know what percentage is lost, but actually it seems that at least some of them are still controlled by someone. Finally, so we're gonna just look at the race quite fast. So nothing much to say. It's just like the toss-up state. Georgia could go to Biden or to Trump. North Carolina seems to go to Trump. Pennsylvania is going to be really close, and most of the ballots seem to be maybe leaning Democrats, so we'll see. And these are the two, Arizona and Nevada. Biden has a really, really, really close lead, and if he managed to get these two, the race is over. So let's see what happens. Please, everyone, just stay calm. We've seen actually Americans really, really staying calm, and this is a huge plus for this democracy. A lot of people going to vote and people respecting each other. It seems now you have some groups of extremists of both sides trying to influence the opening of the ballots or put pressure on the government. I'll just advise everyone, let's stay calm. You've done a tremendous job, Americans. Until then, let's keep it going. So something also that we've not talked about is COVID. COVID is still trending up like a lot. We have more and more lockdowns in Europe mostly and in other parts of the world. And what I did not notice until this morning was actually yesterday was the worst day in terms of deaths resulting of COVID-related disease. We topped 9,000, which is the worst day in the world. It's in the world. 9,000 people died. And what we see is actually, so we're close to 600,000 new cases a day. US is really, really trending back up. And this could be worrying, as maybe the economy will have to be shut down longer, or we might see lockdowns or kind of lockdowns in some states that do not implement them at the moment, especially if Biden is president, is willing to protecting the population. So maybe we'll push governors to try to put restrictions on movements or meetings or this kind of things. We have also France trending up, but we are actually in lockdown right now. Let's say partial lockdown, but kind of a heavy lockdown. So we've seen a bit of a decrease lately. Let's hope it continues. You see UK doing the same thing in some kind of lockdown, and it's been trending down again, and Spain also doing the same thing. So until then, stay safe, stay calm, and Bitcoin is up and will continue